I never thought he would do this to me," Emily whispered to herself, the words barely audible over the soft hum of the city outside her apartment window. The morning sunlight streaming through the blinds, casting long, thin lines across her living room floor as she held her growing belly protectively, feeling both the warmth of life inside her and the cold sting of betrayal from Michael, the man she thought would be by her side no matter what. She sank into the couch, taking a slow, deliberate breath, letting the weight of the news settle. The room silent except for the occasional creak of the building and the distant sirens far below, her mind racing through the messages she had discovered late last night. Michael laughing and making plans with another woman while she had been counting weeks, marking milestones, and dreaming of a family with him, a life they had promised each other. Yet here she was, facing a reality she never imagined. The tears she had shed overnight now dried on her cheeks, leaving behind a determined fire in her eyes. Emily knew she had two choices: crumble under the weight of the betrayal or stand taller, stronger, for herself and the child she carried. As she rose slowly from the couch, the light catching on her silhouette, emphasizing the gentle curve of her belly, a symbol of resilience and hope, she felt the presence of her closest friend, Sarah, who had been quietly waiting in the corner, offering a comforting hand on her shoulder without words. Emily nodded, a silent agreement passing between them, the plan forming in her mind, not for revenge, but for reclaiming control. Michael may have made his choices, but Emily was about to make hers, a promise to herself and her unborn child to rise above the hurt, to step into her own power, and to prepare for a confrontation that would demand respect and honesty. The camera would follow her as she moved deliberately, each step echoing in the hallway, her breathing steady yet filled with an undercurrent of tension, the sounds of the city outside now mingling with the soft pulse of a low, emotive soundtrack, every note mirroring her heartbeat, her thoughts, and the storm of emotions churning inside. Emily paused at the threshold of her bedroom, looking at the small pair of baby shoes she had set aside weeks ago, a reminder of what she was fighting for, her lips pressed into a firm line, eyes narrowing not in anger but in unwavering resolve. She whispered again, this time to herself and to the life she was nurturing, "I will protect us, no matter what." And with that, she stepped forward into the day, ready to face the consequences, the choices, and the unexpected lessons ahead, a journey of strength, dignity, and the quiet, unstoppable power of a woman determined to rise. Emily spent the morning organizing her apartment, each movement deliberate and steady, the sunlight now filling the room with a soft, golden glow that highlighted the gentle curve of her belly. She moved from room to room, placing items carefully, her mind focused not on the betrayal she had endured, but on the life she was bringing into the world and the steps she would take to protect it. Sarah stayed close, offering quiet encouragement and helping Emily arrange a small corner for the baby, complete with a cozy chair and a basket of soft blankets. The calm in the apartment contrasted sharply with the storm of emotions Emily had felt the previous night. Yet this calm was not weakness but a deliberate choice, a demonstration of her growing inner strength. As she sat down in the chair, she rested her hands on her belly and spoke softly to her unborn child, sharing her hopes, dreams, and promises for their future. The sound of her voice, gentle yet firm, resonating with a quiet power that filled the room. Later that afternoon, Emily walked to the nearby park, the crisp spring air brushing against her skin, and she allowed herself a few moments of reflection, watching families pass by, imagining the life she would create for her child. Each step she took deliberate, each breath measured, grounding herself in the present while planning for the days ahead. She noticed a small cafe across the street and decided to stop in for a moment of solitude, ordering a warm cup of tea and sitting by the window where sunlight spilled onto the table, her eyes catching the gentle movement of the trees outside, their branches swaying with the wind, a subtle reminder that life continued to move forward. As she sipped her tea, she drafted a list of priorities: healthcare appointments, preparing the nursery, reaching out to trusted family for support, and slowly, a sense of empowerment grew within her. She realized that despite the hurt, she was capable of creating a stable, loving environment for her child. As the day moved into early evening, Emily returned home, the apartment now bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, and she began assembling a small collection of baby clothes and essentials, folding each item carefully. The act meditative and affirming. She felt a connection to the life growing inside her, a sense of purpose that overshadowed the pain Michael had caused. Sarah left with a reassuring hug, reminding Emily that she was not alone. And as Emily prepared a light dinner, she felt a mix of anticipation and determination, understanding that the coming weeks would bring challenges, but also moments of joy and growth. As she cleared the table and looked out the window at the city lights beginning to sparkle, she whispered to herself and to her child, a promise of unwavering love and protection, a commitment to face whatever came next with grace and resilience. The quiet of the night settling around her, Emily felt the weight of her decisions, but also the power she held within. The camera capturing the subtle expressions of hope, resolve, and anticipation on her face, the soft hum of the city in the background blending with the calm rhythm of her breathing, each beat a reminder of life, strength, and the unspoken bond between mother and child. As she prepared for bed, she arranged the room one last time, ensuring that the space would be a sanctuary for herself and her baby. And as she lay down, the soft glow of a nearby lamp casting a comforting light across the room, Emily allowed herself a deep, steady breath, the culmination of a day filled with preparation, reflection, and quiet empowerment, a day that marked the beginning of a journey defined not by betrayal but by dignity, resilience, and the unwavering determination of a mother to nurture, protect, and embrace the life she was about to welcome. The following morning, Emily awoke to the soft golden light filtering through her curtains, casting a warm glow across the nursery she had begun to prepare. Every detail carefully chosen and placed with love, from the tiny blankets folded neatly in the basket to the pastel mobile hanging above the crib. Each movement deliberate, her hands brushing over the soft fabrics as if transmitting calm and strength to the life growing within her. She took a slow, deep breath and felt a wave of determination, knowing that every choice she made today would shape the world she was building for her child. She dressed comfortably, her movements steady despite the subtle aches and heaviness of her pregnancy, and prepared a healthy breakfast, focusing on nourishment and the ritual of caring for herself and her baby. As she sipped her tea, her thoughts drifted to Michael and the distance that now defined their relationship, a distance she had consciously chosen to maintain, not out of bitterness but out of self-respect and protection for the child she carried. After breakfast, Emily went through her daily walk in the park, the crisp spring air brushing gently against her skin, and as she passed families laughing and playing with children, she allowed herself a quiet smile, imagining the future she would create, a life filled with love, stability, and careful guidance. She paused by a pond, watching the water ripple in the gentle breeze, the sound soothing, grounding her in the present. She placed her hands on her belly and whispered softly, sharing dreams and assurances, promising to shield, nurture, and empower, each word deliberate and infused with the quiet strength she was cultivating. Later that afternoon, Emily arranged a call with her trusted aunt, who offered guidance and practical support, and they discussed upcoming appointments, childcare plans, and how to strengthen her support network. Emily listened attentively, taking notes and integrating advice, her expression thoughtful yet resolute. As the conversation ended, she felt a renewed sense of control and empowerment, a reminder that while past choices of others had caused pain, her present and future were entirely hers to shape. The evening arrived with the sun casting long shadows across the apartment. Emily moved slowly through her evening routine, preparing dinner, tending to the nursery once more, checking every detail, ensuring comfort and safety, and finally sitting by the window, gazing out at the city lights beginning to sparkle as night descended. She reflected on the day, on her growth, and the deliberate steps she had taken to claim her power and protect the life within her. Each breath measured, steady, filled with both calm and anticipation. As she prepared for rest, she gently arranged a small stack of books and soft toys in the nursery, her hands lingering on each item as if to bless them with the strength she felt coursing through her. And as she lay down, the soft glow of the bedside lamp illuminated her thoughtful expression. Emily allowed herself a deep, grounding breath, feeling the bond with her unborn child, a mix of hope, courage, and quiet anticipation filling her chest. The city around her quiet except for the occasional hum of distant traffic, the night a gentle reminder that life continued to move forward. Each moment an opportunity for her to strengthen her resolve, to nurture, to protect, and to prepare for the journey ahead. Emily closed her eyes, the calm determination settling in, a sense of purpose enveloping her, knowing that tomorrow would bring new challenges, but also new opportunities to demonstrate the dignity, resilience, and unwavering strength that defined her every step and choice. The following morning, Emily awoke with a sense of calm determination, the soft light of dawn filtering through the curtains and illuminating the nursery she had so carefully prepared, every detail now perfectly in place. The small crib neatly made with fresh linens, the mobile gently swaying above, and a stack of soft blankets ready for use. She moved slowly and deliberately through the room, her hands brushing over each item as if to infuse them with warmth and protection, her mind focused on the day ahead and the choices she would make to ensure her child's well-being. After a nourishing breakfast, Emily decided to take a walk through the nearby neighborhood, the spring air crisp and invigorating. Carrying the scent of blooming flowers and freshly cut grass, she felt the gentle kick of her baby and smiled, speaking softly to the child, sharing her hopes and assurances, promising safety, love, and guidance. Every step she took along the familiar streets was deliberate and measured, her posture upright, a symbol of the quiet strength she had cultivated over the past weeks. As she passed a small cafe, she noticed a young mother pushing a stroller and sharing laughter with her child, and Emily allowed herself a moment of reflection, envisioning the life she would create, filled with warmth, laughter, and stability. She returned home as the sun climbed higher, the apartment now filled with golden light, and spent the afternoon arranging baby clothes and essentials, folding each garment with care, each movement meditative, reinforcing her sense of agency and preparedness, the soft hum of the city outside blending with the quiet rhythm of her breathing. Emily then reviewed her calendar for upcoming appointments and support meetings, carefully planning each detail to ensure she would be organized and confident in every decision. Later, she sat in the nursery chair, resting her hands on her belly and speaking quietly, the words deliberate and filled with hope, reinforcing the unspoken bond she shared with her child. She imagined the future, the first steps, the first words, and the life lessons she would impart, each thought reinforcing her resolve to maintain dignity, patience, and resilience. As the evening approached, Emily prepared a light dinner, the aroma of fresh vegetables and herbs filling the kitchen, and she allowed herself to savor the quiet moments of independence, the sense of control over her environment, and the empowerment that came from creating a space of love and stability. As she cleared the table and checked the nursery once more, adjusting small details to ensure comfort and safety, she felt a profound sense of accomplishment, the culmination of deliberate choices and consistent care. When night fell, she lingered by the window, gazing out at the city lights beginning to twinkle against the darkening sky, the sounds of distant traffic and soft city hums providing a gentle backdrop to her thoughts. She whispered promises of protection, love, and guidance to her child, her voice steady, filled with warmth and unwavering commitment. As she prepared for bed, Emily reflected on the past days, the growth in her own strength, the careful planning, and the quiet victories she had achieved. A sense of anticipation filled her chest, not for confrontation or conflict, but for the continued nurturing and preparation that would define the next chapter of her life. She lay down, the soft glow of the lamp illuminating her calm expression, each breath steady and measured, the city quiet around her. And in that moment, Emily embraced the serenity, purpose, and empowerment she had cultivated, ready to face the days ahead with dignity, resilience, and unwavering strength as she continued to prepare for the life she would share with her child. The morning light spilled gently across Emily's apartment, the soft warmth illuminating the nursery and the small personal touches she had carefully arranged, each item a silent testament to her growing confidence and inner strength. She moved through the room with deliberate grace, adjusting a blanket here, straightening a small stack of books there, her hands lingering on each object as if to imbue them with care and protection. After ensuring everything was in order, she prepared a light breakfast, mindful of her health and the nourishment of her baby. Sipping tea slowly while watching the city come alive through the window, the streets below, filled with the quiet rhythm of early commuters, she allowed herself a moment of reflection, considering the journey that had brought her to this point, the choices she had made, and the steady accumulation of small victories that had fortified her spirit. Later, Emily stepped outside for a walk in the nearby park, the cool morning air carrying the faint scent of blooming flowers, and she felt the gentle movement of her child within her, a reminder of the life she was nurturing and the responsibility she embraced with unwavering resolve. The trees swayed lightly in the breeze, their branches casting dappled shadows across the path. Each step she took purposeful, reinforcing the rhythm of calm and intention she had cultivated over the past weeks. As she paused by a small pond, she rested her hands on her belly and whispered softly, sharing dreams of love, security, and a life filled with joy for the child she carried. The words deliberate, steady, and imbued with a quiet power. After returning home, Emily focused on her personal projects, organizing paperwork, setting up appointments, and making careful plans for the months ahead. The soft hum of the apartment and the distant sounds of traffic providing a steady backdrop to her methodical preparation. As the afternoon unfolded, she invited Sarah over to discuss future steps and to gather advice. Their conversation practical, grounded, and supportive. Emily listened intently, making notes and integrating guidance into her daily routine, the sense of control and foresight giving her a deep-seated confidence. Later in the evening, she prepared a simple, healthy dinner, enjoying the routine of nourishing herself. The light filtering through the kitchen window casting a comforting glow, she paused to reflect on the life she was building, the autonomy she had reclaimed, and the nurturing environment she was creating for her child. After dinner, Emily returned to the nursery, checking each detail once more, adjusting small items to ensure safety, comfort, and a sense of welcoming warmth. She sat quietly in the chair, placing her hands gently on her belly, feeling the soft movements of her baby, and spoke words of reassurance and love, her voice steady, filled with conviction. As night fell, she lingered by the window, watching the city lights blink on one by one, a quiet serenity settling over her, the sounds of distant traffic blending with the calm of her apartment. Emily allowed herself to embrace the steady rhythm of life, reflecting on her choices, the strength she had cultivated, and the nurturing path she had set, each breath measured and deliberate, each thought reinforcing her resolve to protect, empower, and love the child she carried. As she prepared for bed, she arranged a few final touches in the nursery, the soft glow of the lamp casting a comforting light over the room, and when she finally lay down, the sense of purpose, resilience, and anticipation filled her chest, a quiet confidence that she was prepared for the days ahead, and that the life she was building would be defined by dignity, care, and unwavering strength. Emily woke to the soft hum of the city outside her window, the morning light spilling gently across the nursery, illuminating the carefully arranged crib and the small collection of toys she had organized the night before. She moved slowly through the room, adjusting a blanket and straightening the mobile, her hands lingering over each item with a sense of protective care. After a light breakfast, she reviewed her schedule for the day, noting upcoming appointments and planning tasks that would keep her organized and confident. She then stepped outside for a walk, the fresh spring air cool against her skin and carrying the scent of blooming flowers. Feeling her baby stir gently within her, she whispered words of comfort and promise, reinforcing the bond they shared and the unwavering commitment she held for their safety and well-being. As she passed familiar streets, Emily observed families interacting with children and allowed herself a quiet smile, envisioning the life she would provide, filled with stability, warmth, and love. Returning home, she spent time organizing practical aspects of her life, from arranging appointments to preparing documents. Each task approached deliberately and methodically, reinforcing her sense of control and autonomy. Later, Emily sat in the nursery chair, placing her hands gently on her belly, and speaking softly to her child, sharing dreams, hopes, and plans for a nurturing future, her voice steady and calm, filled with quiet power. As the afternoon unfolded, she allowed moments of reflection, thinking about the growth she had experienced over the past weeks and the strength she had cultivated. She welcomed her friend Sarah again, discussing strategies for maintaining a safe and supportive environment, integrating guidance and reassurance into her routine, the conversation fostering a sense of preparedness and confidence. As the day drew toward evening, Emily prepared a healthy dinner, appreciating the rhythm of care she was creating for herself and her child, the soft glow of the kitchen light highlighting the calm determination in her expression. After dinner, she returned to the nursery, checking each detail with care, folding blankets, arranging clothing, and ensuring that the space radiated warmth and comfort. Sitting quietly in the nursery chair, she allowed herself to feel the steady, rhythmic movements of her baby, whispering gentle reassurances and words of encouragement, reinforcing the intimate connection and her protective instinct. As night fell, Emily lingered by the window, observing the twinkling city lights, the quiet sounds of distant traffic blending with the calm within her apartment. She took deep, measured breaths, each one reinforcing her resolve to nurture, protect, and guide. Every thought focused on providing stability, love, and a sense of security. She reflected on her careful planning, her growing autonomy, and the nurturing environment she was cultivating. And as she prepared for rest, Emily made final adjustments to the nursery, ensuring comfort and safety, the soft lamp glow casting a gentle light over the room. When she lay down, she embraced the serenity and quiet strength she had developed, each breath deliberate, each thought affirming her commitment, purpose, and unwavering determination to face the days ahead with dignity, resilience, and the quiet power that defined her every action and choice. The morning sun filtered softly through the curtains, casting a gentle light across the nursery, and Emily moved carefully through the room, her hands brushing over the neatly folded blankets and arranged baby clothes as she prepared for the day ahead, each motion deliberate and full of intention. She dressed comfortably and prepared a nourishing breakfast, savoring the quiet moments and the sense of control she had reclaimed over her life. After eating, she reviewed her calendar and made notes for upcoming appointments, each entry reflecting careful planning and a thoughtful approach to balancing her own needs with those of her unborn child. Later, she stepped outside for a walk in the nearby park, the air crisp and filled with the scent of early spring blooms, each step steady and measured, feeling the gentle movement of her baby within her and whispering words of love and reassurance. She paused at a bench to watch families interact, allowing herself a quiet smile as she envisioned the nurturing environment she was creating. Returning home, she focused on practical tasks, organizing documents, confirming support arrangements, and preparing the nursery further, each action reinforcing her autonomy and careful foresight. As the afternoon sun climbed higher, she sat quietly in the nursery chair, hands resting on her belly, speaking softly to her child and sharing dreams for their future, her voice calm, steady, and full of quiet power. She imagined the life they would build together, filled with stability, warmth, and opportunity. Later, Emily welcomed her friend Sarah for a planning session, discussing strategies for healthcare appointments and support systems, integrating advice with thoughtful deliberation, their conversation fostering a sense of preparedness and confidence. As evening approached, Emily prepared a simple, healthy dinner, appreciating the rhythm of nourishing herself and the baby. The golden light from the window casting a warm glow across the kitchen. She paused to reflect on the careful choices she had made and the strength she had cultivated. The city outside quiet except for the distant hum of traffic. She returned to the nursery to make final adjustments, ensuring that every item was in place and that the space exuded comfort and welcome. Sitting again in the nursery chair, she allowed herself to feel the steady movements of her child and whispered promises of love, guidance, and protection, the intimate connection reinforcing her commitment and resilience. As night fell, Emily lingered by the window, watching the city lights twinkle one by one, each breath deliberate, grounding her in the present while filling her with anticipation for the future. She prepared for bed, making one last check of the nursery, the lamp casting a soft, reassuring light. And as she lay down, she embraced the quiet power, dignity, and unwavering determination she had cultivated, each breath steady, each thought reinforcing her purpose, the journey ahead. Defined not by past betrayal, but by strength, love, and the steadfast nurturing of the life she carried, a life that would reflect her resilience, wisdom, and the calm confidence of a mother ready to meet each new day with grace and unwavering resolve. Emily woke to the soft glow of the early morning sun, the light spilling across the nursery and highlighting the meticulous preparations she had made. She moved carefully through the room, adjusting blankets and straightening small items with deliberate attention, each movement infused with calm determination and protective care. After a wholesome breakfast, she reviewed her calendar, confirming appointments and planning tasks that would ensure both her well-being and that of her child. Later, she stepped outside for a walk in the neighborhood, the spring air fresh and invigorating, carrying the subtle scent of blooming flowers, each step steady and mindful, feeling gentle movements from her baby and whispering words of love, reassurance, and hope. Emily paused at a quiet corner of the park, observing families and children playing together, allowing herself a quiet smile as she envisioned the nurturing life she would provide. Returning home, she focused on organizing her personal projects and practical tasks, from scheduling appointments to preparing documents and arranging support systems, each action reinforcing her autonomy and confidence, the soft hum of the city outside blending with the steady rhythm of her breathing. As the afternoon unfolded, Emily sat in the nursery chair, hands resting gently on her belly, speaking softly to her child and sharing dreams for a life filled with security, love, and joy, her voice steady and calm, resonating with quiet power and unwavering commitment. Later, she welcomed her friend Sarah for a discussion about upcoming plans, listening attentively to advice and integrating suggestions into her routine, the conversation fostering a deeper sense of preparedness and reassurance. As evening approached, Emily prepared a light, nourishing dinner, appreciating the simple act of care and the comforting glow of sunlight fading across the kitchen. After dinner, she returned to the nursery, checking every detail and making subtle adjustments to ensure safety, warmth, and comfort. She sat quietly, feeling the gentle movements of her baby, whispering words of guidance and protection, each promise deliberate and heartfelt. As night settled, Emily lingered by the window, watching the city lights twinkle, each breath measured and steady, reinforcing her focus on the life she was nurturing, reflecting on the careful choices and consistent effort she had made over the past days. The quiet sense of empowerment and resilience filling her, she prepared for bed, making one final pass through the nursery to ensure everything was in place, the soft lamplight casting a gentle glow. And as she lay down, she embraced the calm determination, quiet strength, and unwavering sense of purpose that would guide her in the days ahead, confident in the nurturing, protective, and empowered life she was creating for herself and her child. Each breath a steady reminder of her dignity, resolve, and readiness to meet the future with grace, love, and unwavering commitment. The morning light poured gently through the curtains, filling Emily's apartment with a soft golden glow, and she moved through the nursery with deliberate care, adjusting a blanket, straightening the crib, and placing a small mobile just so. Each action a quiet affirmation of the life she was nurturing and the strength she had cultivated. After a simple breakfast, she reviewed her calendar, confirming appointments and organizing tasks that would keep her days structured and focused. Later, she stepped outside for a walk in the neighborhood, the cool air carrying the faint scent of blooming flowers, her steps measured and steady as she felt the gentle movements of her baby. Whispering softly words of love, guidance, and protection, she paused near a quiet park bench to watch families with children, allowing herself a moment of reflection and a quiet smile, envisioning the nurturing, stable, and joyful life she would provide. Returning home, she dedicated time to organizing documents, arranging support systems, and ensuring that every detail of her environment was conducive to safety and comfort. The hum of the city outside blending with the steady rhythm of her breathing, reinforcing the sense of calm and control she had cultivated. As the afternoon progressed, Emily sat in the nursery chair, resting her hands on her belly and speaking softly to her child, sharing dreams and promises for a life full of love, stability, and guidance, her voice calm and deliberate, resonating with quiet power and reassurance. Later, she welcomed Sarah for a supportive conversation, discussing practical strategies for upcoming appointments, childcare, and maintaining a strong support network. Emily listened attentively, integrating advice into her routine and feeling reinforced in her autonomy and confidence. As evening approached, she prepared a simple, healthy dinner, appreciating the gentle rhythm of care she was establishing for herself and her child, the soft golden light of the setting sun illuminating the kitchen and casting warm shadows. After dinner, she returned to the nursery, checking each detail and making small adjustments to ensure comfort, safety, and warmth. She sat quietly in the chair, feeling the gentle movements of her baby, whispering words of love and encouragement, each statement deliberate and filled with conviction. As night fell, Emily lingered by the window, watching the city lights twinkle in the distance, the faint sounds of traffic blending with the calm within her apartment. She took measured, steady breaths, reflecting on her choices, the deliberate actions she had taken, and the nurturing environment she had created, each thought reinforcing her resolve to protect, empower, and provide stability for her child. As she prepared for bed, she arranged the nursery one last time, ensuring the room radiated calm and safety, the soft glow of the lamp illuminating the gentle details of the space. And as she lay down, Emily embraced the quiet strength, purpose, and unwavering determination that had carried her through the days leading up to this moment, each breath a reminder of her resilience, dignity, and readiness to nurture, guide, and love the life she was bringing into the world. Confident in the foundation she had built and the empowered future she would share with her child.